We have Amit Anwani from Prabhudas Lilladher joining in to talk about the trajectory ahead and sort of what you can expect from the stock. Amit, thank you for joining in. Wish you a happy Diwali, first of all. So I think the market is in a bit of a festive mode. For once, it doesn't seem to be sort of complaining and being glum over this whole core margin issue, because the management keeps saying that as those legacy orders get executed, the margin will move higher. Your thoughts?
Right. So, Surabhi, wishing you all a happy Diwali. And then coming to margins, so if you see, margin issue has been shadowing the stock from almost 5-6 quarters post-COVID. After the legacy order execution, all of us were expecting some margin revival. But I think on positive side, somewhat in H1, they are able to maintain the kind of guidance and margin versus last year when they given much higher, I would say higher guidance, and then each subsequent quarter, the margin guidance was lowered and not favorable. But having said that, comparatively, the P&M margin, they have maintained at 8.3% this year as well. And seeing H1, there is 10-20 bips improvement. And H2, I think, can be expected to be stable. So in that sense, we are also not building in too much improvement in core P&M margin. And next year, I'm building in some 20-30 bips improvement that is there on margin. So I think if you see, execution was expected to be healthy because of the opening order book was quite strong, and we saw international orders also contributing quite strong. So I would say healthy performance, stable performance, considering the geopolitical challenges as well as the core business infra margin were under pressure in previous quarters. Yeah.
So the question is, I mean, in terms of stock, a kicker from here on, I don't think the order inflow dip is much of a concern, because I think that what I've read is that the last quarter was a very high base. And overall, they're retaining their full-year order intake guidance as well. So do you see any concerns at all? And if not, then what can we expect on the stock? What would your target price be? L&T's delivered a 20% growth this year in terms of the stock price, very much in sync with the market. What do you see ahead in the next 12 months?
Right. So if you see, Surabhi, this quarter, the intake was about 80,000. H1 is about 150,000. So considering that there's a 10% growth, the H2 ask is about 180,000, including service orders, and the core EPC orders should be about 150,000. The company has guided for 8 lakh crores of pipeline, which indicates 19% conversion, so better conversion than H1. So I'm assuming that they have been also building in this large thermal order, which has been talked about, where the company is L1. This could be as big as 4 gigawatt, and considering the BTG component should be more than 15,000 crore order. And I think thermal itself, if you see broadly, thermal power EPC has also been developing as a good order intake prospects for many companies. And now L&T chipping in and guiding that they have been on the favorable terms to get this orders, and they have decided to go in thermal. So I think that improves the prospect. And as you rightly said, the base quarter was having 40-50,000 of lumpy orders from Middle East, which might not be the case in H2. But having said that, the domestic market, especially the thermal ordering, which they are now getting into, can improve the prospect, and they are able to meet 10%. So in short, I think also going in FY26, I think domestic market has been muted for the company from past 2 financial years, despite very strong export market. And now is the time that the domestic also should come back when the tendering and power defense, power and infra is going to pick up. So the highlight was also on a lot of orders in data set, in hospitality, real estate, and other infrastructure projects, which can actually kick in H2 and H1 of next year. So I don't see inflow as a concern currently.
Okay, what's your target price?
Right, so our target is about 4,100. We are maintaining buy.
Okay.
And I feel the stock has been sideways from quite some time, but positive for me is that they are able to maintain the key parameters like working capital, good growth. So we believe with a longer term perspective, there's a potential, but near term, there's a
Got it. So around 4,100. Got that. Thanks very much. And you take your point completely on the, that big aggression coming back on the thermal side for L&T. We've seen that in the recent past. There was a large NTPC order where I think L&T was competing with the likes of BHEL, and I think eventually it did go to them. So yeah, they're getting back on the thermal power generation side in a big way as well. That's L&T.